Says it's working. Is it working? I don't know. Never can tell. Scott Terry, Coffee First and Speak. Billy, Ohio Valley Prepping. Who else we got in here? JTEMT, good to see you. Billy. Appreciate you being here, sister. Thank you so much. Mr. Landfill in the house. What's up, Rum Runner? And we can't forget the Watchman. Appreciate you, bro. Hope all is well, folks. Billy says 5x5 Southern Tier Prepper. Good morning. Better early than late, right? Grit and Grace, good to see you, sister. Hope all is well. Canadian, what's up? Still morning here. Smoking Swamp Outdoors. Appreciate the 5x5. And let's see here, folks. I got to do some refreshing because up to the minute is where it's at. Jeremy, good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Teresa Buchanan, good to see you, sister. Cold and White. Sorry, Canadian. My apologies, brother. So, this morning, here in the People's Republic of New Yorkistan, I am currently sitting at 40 degrees here at the HVPAS headquarters. And it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Not super duper warm. I think the high temperature today is 50. Just went live for me on YouTube. Thank you, JT. Appreciate it. Karen, good morning. Rob, good to see you. Jeep Girl, top of the morning. Some random dude. You drive safe, my brother. Appreciate you. Guardian Prepping, good morning. Hope all is well with everybody. Little Lone Prepper, good to see you. Yeah, the weather here is, oh no, cold here and the power is out. Ohio Valley Prepping, that's terrible. I hope it's something stupid and easy fix. Roddy Hood, good to see you. Yeah, lots of interesting news I have come across today. If you guys saw the title of this guy, it's, you know, as the World War III turns, right? They're definitely working on something, says Ohio Valley Prepping. Good, well, I hope they get it done. Hoping to clean out the strawberry bed, but I'm not up to freezing my peaches off today. I hear you, Southern Tier Prepper. It's chilly. It's chilly. Got to get that coffee in you. Coffee First and Speak. Good to see you, sister. Yankee Watchdog in the house. What up? So, obviously, all eyes are still on the stock market. Now, yesterday morning, the market was up, right? Didn't end that way. Didn't end that way at all. By the end of trading yesterday, the markets actually ended down. So, as of this moment, right here, right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 201 points. S&P is up 45. The NASDAQ is up 285. VIX is down 1.79 points. Gold is up $108.60, and oil is down $2.74. And that's as of 10:33 a.m. EST. Yup. That's the truth. And the weather, again, sunshiny, bright, going to be a beautiful day today. Southern Tier Prepper says, as preppers, we all should have expected this regardless of who's in charge. Exactly. Exactly, Southern Tier Prepper. Some random dude, I agree. Gold and silver usually does something a little different than what's actually going on right now. Gas keeps going up here in Tennessee, says oops. Yeah. Rob B says, guys, always check the clearance section at Sierra, Trading Post, and Walmart. I couldn't agree more, man. Get those deals while you can. Get your gear for cheap, or not cheap gear, but good gear at a low cost. That's what I mean to say. So on April 3rd, I don't know if a lot of you guys know about this. I'm going to copy and paste this guy in the chat for everybody. There was some new gun control measures passed here in the People's Republic of New Yorkistan. They've been sliding these things in real quiet, like, right? They don't want everybody to know. But the article here this is actually from the governor's office. Governor Hochul says, quote, "Today I'm going to be signing 3 important bills that further strengthen our gun laws. The first is adding pistol converters to the definition of rapid fire modification devices. The second strengthens the warning that gun dealers must provide to customers about the risks of firearms. And the third is refining how credit card companies track purchases at gun dealerships." New York State's got its own backdoor gun registry. We all know that's against federal law and unconstitutional AF. Does New York care? No, not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So, it is what it is. It's New York, right? Rob B, everybody says pay cash. I agree. JTEMT and says exactly how does any of that enhance safety? I don't know, man. Most of the people who get caught with illegal firearms are already felons because, one, they have illegal firearms. So I don't get it. And New York doesn't prosecute half of these freaking people anyway. Let's just write something on a piece of paper. That'll stop them. Unbelievable. The article is extremely lengthy. I'm not going to read any of this trash to you, but I will drop this again for you guys in the chat if you want to see just how nuts New York State is. It's what it is. Yeah, Southern Tier Prepper. It's more than that. This is a backdoor gun registry being created by New York State through your credit card companies. It's true. It's true. If imagine if they tried to pull something like this in Texas. I don't get it, man. It sucks, but the deterioration of New York State is rapid. And we all know how at odds they are with the federal government over their policies here, so your spelling just went nuts. JS Genesis, I get it, I'm fluent in typo. It's okay. So the next article I want to bring to you guys today is something that the Watchman posted as soon as he got here this morning about a ship that has had an explosion aboard. It has not exploded, but there was an explosion aboard this ship in the North Sea. Copy and paste this guy to you guys here. This article is from the dailymail.com in the UK. A rescue mission is underway in the North Sea after explosion triggers a blaze on a 500-foot container ship. Rescue mission is underway in the North Sea after explosion aboard a 500-foot container ship. Dutch media reports the Dutch Coast Guard was alerted around 1 p.m. local time to reports of a blast on board the Victoria L as it sailed near Hoek van Holland, according to Westlanders. It was not immediately clear what had caused the initial explosion, but crews were said to again be struggling to battle the blaze this afternoon as it flared up for a second time. The Liberian flag container ship was en route from Hamburg to the port of Rotterdam with a crew of 19 when the incident occurred. None are believed to have been injured in the blast or resulting fire. 2 helicopters and multiple vessels in the area were reportedly heading to the scene this afternoon. Online tracking data showed the Victoria L was expected to reach Rotterdam by 2 p.m. local time this afternoon. Crew efforts to put out the fire were in vain as of 1:30 p.m. It threatened to flare up again. Vessels including the Janine Parkiai and a rescue boat rallied to help the trapped crew. Helicopters, including one with firefighters, were also deployed to the ship. The Victoria L, built in 2009, was previously named the O.M. Batanas. The reports came after Portuguese-registered container ship collided with a U.S. tanker in the North Sea off the coast of East Yorkshire, leaving 1 man missing. Interesting. So this was 2 separate incidents. The one earlier was March 10th, where the So Long hit the American Stena Immaculate on March 10th. But apparently there's definitely some issues going on up there in the North Sea. And this article I will drop in the comment section for everybody again. Come on, my mouse doesn't want, I think I need new batteries in this thing. I say that all the time, and then I change the batteries, it doesn't change. Excuse me. But that, terrible, man. I hate to see anything happen on a ship. Those guys they're trapped on there. Amy King, good to see you. Good morning. Rural 2IC, top of the morning to you. Hope all is well. Dan H says, it's the ocean you can physically see for miles. How do boats collide? I agree. I agree. But that boat is definitely in some trouble there. That was our first article, and that was a new breaking news story. Another breaking news story is China just decided to slap 84% retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods in response to Trump. China has pushed back again on U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff policies by hiking its levies on U.S. imports to more than 80%. Tariffs on U.S. goods entering China will rise to 84% from 34% starting April 10th, according to the translation office at the Tariff Commission of the State Council. The hike comes in response to the latest U.S. tariff increase on Chinese goods, more than 100%, that began at midnight. The tit-for-tat escalation on tariffs threatens to crush trade between the world's two largest economies, according to the U.S. Trade Representative. The U.S. exported 143.5 billion of goods to China in 2024, while importing products worth 438.9 billion. So that trade deficit is huge, huge. The Trump administration announced sweeping new tariff policies last week, warning other countries not to retaliate. Some nations, including Japan, have seemed willing to negotiate on tariffs, but China appears to be taking a more hard-line stance and quickly announced a counter tariff. After China's initial response to the April 2nd tariff rollout, Trump announced an additional 50% hike, putting the total levy for import taxes on Chinese goods at 104%. What does that mean for us? That means that everything that we buy here, for the most part, is from China, right? All of our cheap stuff, our cameras, our everything, our clothing, our computers, a lot of our daily lives comes from China. So that means that our daily lives are going to cost at least 104% more. That's for sure. And with the inflation that's been crushing us all for years, this is not good for anybody here in the US of A. It's not good for anybody in China. This sucks. This sucks. Yankee Watchdog says the stores might be getting thin with products. It's true. It's very true. And I will copy and paste it to my people in the chat. That article is from CNBC. And I see JTEMT is already on it. European Union approves the first set of retaliatory tariffs on U.S. imports. European Union on Wednesday voted to approve its first set of retaliatory measures to counter tariffs imposed by the U.S. on steel and aluminum. So there you go. The things that we didn't get from China, those are getting tariffed too. Non-stop action. The European Commission, the bloc's executive arm, said duties would start being collected from April 15th. The response package was unveiled last month, targeting a range of goods. The 27-nation bloc had warned it would act to protect European businesses and consumers after Donald Trump imposed a 25% duties on the metals. The EU considers U.S. tariffs unjustified and damaging, causing economic harm to both sides as well as the global economy. The EU has stated it clearly prefers to find negotiated outcomes with the U.S., which would be balanced and mutually beneficial. The EU also faces tariffs of 20% on almost all its U.S. imports as part of Trump's targeting of over 180 countries and territories, as announced by the White House leader on April 2nd. Yeah. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said at the time the EU was ready to retaliate unless negotiations with the U.S. administrations were successful. We are prepared to respond, she said, adding that the EU was preparing for further countermeasures to protect its interests and businesses. But von der Leyen also called for talks with the U.S., saying it was not too late to address concerns through negotiation. The U.S. tariffs are impacting 380 billion euros worth of Europe's exports to the United States, amounting to around 70% of total exports. To put it in perspective, that's over 80 billion euros in duties, an 11-fold jump from the 7 billion euros the U.S. currently collects. Very interesting. Sway, good to see you. Karen says, increase your garden size. Absolutely. Absolutely, do what you can, man. We've got to offset this somehow, right? I mean, what can you really do? And again, I will drop this guy in the chat for everybody. This is from cnbc.com. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, that's the China one. Here we go. Gotta click the right buttons. Mike, get them fingers working. Copy and paste. Prepper for the ages. Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by this morning. And that's another CNBC article. Let's see, what else do we have here? You guys want to hear some We All Gonna Die Wednesday shit? This one I found super interesting. I didn't even realize this was happening, and I think a lot of you didn't either. It's important that we keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. Big chap, what's happening, brother? Karen says, I actually live in a mobile home park, and they are allowing gardens this year. Awesome, awesome. Yankee Watchdog, do you know that the U.S. has been working on new nuclear bombs? I had no idea. No idea whatsoever. The article right here from, let's see, copy and paste to the homies. TheSun.com. Red alert. The U.S. starts work on new nuclear bomb 7 months ahead of schedule, and it's 24 times more powerful than the Hiroshima nuke. The United States has ramped up production of the bone-chilling B-6113 bomb 7 months ahead of schedule in an aggressive move to keep up with global powers. Last week, the Sandy National Laboratories announced that the production of the latest weapon is being fast-tracked under an innovative program planning. The program is now allowing the project to be completed 25% faster than initially scheduled. The B-61-13 is the Department of Energy's National Nuclear Security Administration's answer to its 2023 task of building a new nuclear gravity bomb. The gravity bomb, which is being dropped from a plane rather than being self-propelled, cost $92 million to develop. However, this weapon will be equipped with a tail kit that can pilot it straight to the target, the New Atlas reported. Sandy National Laboratories' new bomb builds off the B-61-7 bomb and can yield 10 to 360 kilotons, allowing it to be thrown at different targets without damaging other areas. The B-61-13's high maximum yield makes it 24 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima during World War II. The Hiroshima bomb yielded between 12 and 18 kilotons, whereas the Nagasaki bomb yielded 18 to 23 kilotons. The B-6113 will be the latest of the U.S. old nuclear weapons program, which began in 1968. It's planned to first fly aboard the B-2 Spirit bombers and will later be carried by the B-21 stealth bombers. Nuclear threats. President Donald Trump has openly admitted he's no fan of nuclear weapons, but nevertheless, America is doubling down on production to deter threats from competitors China and Russia. Trump previously called the weapons the greatest existential threat to humanity and has taken action over the past few weeks to work with other countries on their nuclear plans. We spend a lot of money on nuclear weapons. The level of destruction is beyond anything you can imagine, Donald Trump said during an interview with Fox News. It's just bad. You have to spend all this money on something that, if you use it, it's probably the end of the world, he said. Nuclear weapons are big monsters that can blow heads off for miles and miles and miles. On Monday, Trump said that direct talks are underway between the United States and Iran regarding Tehran's nuclear program, CNN reported. The president said a very big meeting will occur on Saturday, and it will be at the top level. I think everybody agrees that doing a deal will be preferable to doing the obvious, Trump said. That talking point, man, that thing just keeps getting kicked around, right? 100%. It's the same talking point over and over again. I see that the meeting has happened. Everybody would preferably do a deal rather than the obvious. That's a big one. Oh, Mutt, good to see you. Red Cardinal, what up? Red Cardinal said, sorry I'm late. I was watching The Four Horsemen. Appreciate it. Yvonne Berger, good to see you. Jules in the house, what's up? Yeah, not good. Lots of photos and videos, including one about the nuclear football on this article. So definitely check it out. Let's see. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Paste. Kabamo. The song that Livingston Man played with the video was the shit, Moldy Soldier. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. We work hard to make things here as cool as we can. And speaking of songs and videos, check this. Walter Davis, good to see you. Coffee is on her second IV bag. Thanks, Moldy. Appreciate it, bro. Winador. Big Chap says, Mike, Iran. Son, that list along with Iraq, Libya. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Big Chap. I know exactly what you're talking about. Patty S. Good to see you, sister. Good morning. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I do still have a couple more articles to talk about here, and I will drop that one in the chat one more time. TheSun.com talking about the new nuclear weapons that the United States is now fast tracking. I just signed up for a CPR class on Saturday. Looking forward to being certified. Patty S. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's a big step, honestly. Hopefully they're rolling some, AED and first aid in there with that. Really hope so. Because the more you learn, the better. Yardbirds, good to see you, friend. So the next article I have is from the mirror.uk, and this was part of the title here this morning. Prepper Book Club, good to see you, bro. Hope all is well. Zelensky warns many Chinese soldiers are on Russian front lines as two captured in a shocking escalation. That's right. It's not just North Korean troops fighting on behalf of Russia. Chinese troops as well. The article goes on to state the Ukrainian forces have captured two Chinese prisoners fighting alongside Russian forces in a major new escalation. President Volodymyr Zelensky revealed there were many more Chinese citizens that are now on the front and added that his forces were investigating. He made the stunning announcement after vowing his forces will drive Russia's war on them all the way back to where it came from. The leader made the declaration as confirming for the first time Ukraine had made a second incursion into Russia, probing firmly into the border's Belgorod region. And now he's demanding an explanation from Beijing after his troops took two Chinese citizens prisoner after getting into a firefight with them. On the presence of Chinese citizens fighting alongside Russia, he said, we have information that there are many more Chinese citizens in the occupiers' units. We are finding out all the facts. A China involvement, if state-sponsored, means the scale of the war could escalate rapidly, although these fighters could be mercenaries. Ukrainian troops have been in Belgorod for several months, but now it's a rare confirmation that Belgorod incursion, as Zelensky poured praise on his soldiers. Kiev's forces are still hanging on to their last foothold in Kursk, also across the Russian border, where ferocious battles are being fought. Zelensky said today, Commander-in-Chief Zersky reported separately on the front that our presence in the Kursk Oblast and our presence in the Belgorod Oblast, we continue to conduct active operations in border areas on enemy territory. And this is absolutely right. The war must return to where it came from, he said. The incursions are defensive missions designed to protect Ukraine's own Sumy and Kharkiv border regions. By hitting Russian troops in depth, they are diverting troops away from the invasion effort. And this article is much, much more lengthy. Lots of pictures and videos to go along with all this. But the long and the short of it is Chinese troops fighting for Russia in Ukraine. If you ask me, that is a major escalation. Apocalypse music. You're right, Red Cardinal. Today's the day. Today's the day. It is the We All Gonna Die Wednesday. What are your thoughts, man? I don't like any of this, to be honest with you. New nukes, Chinese troops fighting in Ukraine. I mean, no bueno. My puppy dog is having a meltdown. Total meltdown. Big Chap says, question, if you are Putin, do you just hand over all of the rare earth minerals over to the U.S. afterwards, all willy-nilly like, or do you keeps it? That is a great question, Big Chap. Yeah, that is a great question. I think there's something in a trade deal there where everybody can make out. Obviously, we've given Ukraine billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars in cash, in weapons, in you know, just about everything. Troop carriers, aircraft, the whole 9 yards. And they be lobbing our missiles every day. I don't know. I don't know where it ends. I don't think we'll ever see a dime back from it, honestly. Sway says, you know what I noticed? Not really many countries screaming for peace. I see nothing but destabilization and finger pointing. Yeah. Yankee says the Chinese troops might be like the North Koreans. 2 show up to fight. The rest are watching web porn. Chris Laird, good to see you, bro. I agree. I think the Ukraine right now is kind of a training ground for these nations who haven't been at war for quite some time. You know, if it's one thing the U.S. knows, we know how to fight. That's 100%. We know how warfare changes over time, and we adapt to that stuff pretty quickly. We've also seen Russia and Ukraine adapt to those things pretty quickly too, right? We're on to this 5th and 6th generation warfare tactics now that, let's face it, man, this ain't like World War II, right? This is going to be fought on many, many levels. The cyber level, that's going to be a huge one. Golly, my chair be sinking. That's going to be a big one. The cyber aspect of this, with as interconnected as the world is, when somebody pulls the trigger on that, we're all in big trouble, guys. Drones and social media hacking, you know it, Prepper Good Book Club. Big Chap says 200 to 500 troy ounces of silver in the head of every Tomahawk missile. Good golly. That's a lot of money, Big Chap. That's a lot of money. Damn. So I have another article here that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention because the cyber aspect, let's troll them. Yardbirds, yeah. What are you whining about? You gonna make it? Poor little doggy. Let's paste this right here. This is from archive.is. The news article is originally from the New York Times. I'm not sure why this saves this like that, but weird. Definitely weird. Meme warfare. You know it, Prepper Book Club. This article is directly tied to preparedness in a way. I got to be honest. And we talk about what can we do, right? What can we do against the threat of World War III here in America to strengthen our position, I guess, to be a little more prepared for maybe war, maybe, right? This article talks a little bit about that. It says, Americans are preparing for when all hell breaks loose. Again, this article is originally from the New York Times. Thomas Gibbons Neff is the writer of this article. 10 men, some wearing camouflage, others in vests loaded with ammunition for their AR-15 rifles, gather under the morning shade of an oak tree in central Florida last month, where they learn marksmanship tactics common among special operations forces and elite law enforcement units. Their instructor, Christopher Rosschair, an Air Force veteran, introduced himself and then led the group in prayer. Lord, you would use them as assets to be protectors in this world, in a world full of evils, he prayed. The men gathered around him were not soldiers, police officers, or right-wing militia members. They were mostly civilians, including 2 pilots, a nurse, and a construction company executive. The class title, Full Contender Minuteman, even referred to the civilian-turned soldiers of the American Revolution. In a world shaped by war, a pandemic, and extreme weather, more Americans are getting ready for crisis. Whether it's to fight a tyrannical government, repel an invading army, or respond to a natural disaster, they are known as prepared or professional citizens, a part of a growing number of gun owners who are adapting their mindset to uncertain and polarizing times. And rather than being part of a more fringe prepper culture, they are growing more mainstream, centered to by companies ready to offer them tools and training to be ready. The traditional aspects of gun ownership, such as simple target shooting, are increasingly being shelved in favor of topics like radio and medical training, night vision shooting, drone reconnaissance, homesteading, and military tactics. We are looking at a growing number of companies who are broadening their appeal and normalizing self-preparedness and the tools needed to enable it, said Karen Shana, the co-founder of Open Source Defense, a startup working to normalize gun culture in the United States and invest in new companies in the civilian defense industry. 5 or 10 years ago, we couldn't have done what we're doing because there just weren't enough startups in the space. We're seeing it accelerate in real time, she said. Prepared citizenry and the more familiar practice of prepping share some characteristics, though preppers are more focused on getting ready for long-term self-sufficiency, keeping chickens, growing vegetables in a garden, and storing supplies in bulk. Prepared citizens want to be ready for sudden calamity. Don't you all? I know I do. This article goes into extreme depths, very long article. I am not going to read you the whole thing. JTEMT, I did hear a little pop while I was reading. I wasn't sure what it was, but that could have been it. That could have been it. And again, this is archive.is, and it will bring you right to the New York Times article. Very in-depth, lots of pictures and videos to go along with this. And it goes to show that prepping is becoming much more mainstream, guys. They may still consider us doomsday preppers. I don't think it matters what label they try to slap on you. I think what matters most is that you're prepared, right? That's what matters most. Your family is set and ready to go. Savage Lee says, take a breath. Yes, sir. And a sip. Crazy article. Absolutely crazy article. I did not expect to stumble across that one this morning. I got to be honest with you. So, in reading that article, seeing the new nukes coming out from the U.S. government, seeing Chinese troops on the Ukrainian battlefield, it got me thinking, man, if the average person just Googled, how should I prepare for World War III, what's Google going to tell them to do? So I typed in just that. I said, how should Americans prepare for World War III? Type this into Google and just hit send. And what it gave me was an AI overview of what AI thinks Americans should do to prepare. Rum Runner, thank you so much, brother. Really, really appreciate that. I will make sure to grab Mr. Livingston, man, PBR. Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate it. So, typed in, how should Americans prepare for World War III? And AI says, while the potential for global conflict like World War III is a serious concern, focusing on practical preparedness for everyday emergencies and potential disruptions is a more realistic and constructive approach for Americans in 2025. And then it gives a breakdown on how to prepare. And number one is focus on emergency preparedness. Your basic needs, financial stability, communication, first aid and medical skills, a family plan, community engagement, and staying informed, right? And then it goes into the mindset and coping strategies. It talks about managing anxiety, focusing on the facts. You know, don't let your mind wander into the could-be's and maybes. You want to really narrow this down and focus on the facts. And make sure to take care of yourself. Self-care is another one on that list. Now, security system activated. We've got heavy helicopter movement through the Hudson Valley here today. CUCV Farmer says, if you missed Prepper Now's video this morning, watch it. Amen. Prepper Now does a fantastic job. Interesting. So this goes on to specifics for a potential nuclear threat. It says to stock gas masks and filters, water purification, shelter, and staying informed. Practical skills like water purification, food storage, first aid, and gardening. And then it goes into important considerations. Focus on what you can control. While it's important to be prepared, it's also important to focus on what you can control and not dwell on the things that are beyond your influence. Don't panic. Staying calm and rational is crucial in a crisis. Just run around like a house on fire. Screw it. And staying informed. Follow trusted news sources and be aware of the potential threats. And again, I just Googled how should Americans prepare for World War III, and that's what the AI was telling me. XNYC. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you, brother. Moon Sprout, what up? So it's been, it's been a little while. It's been about 40 minutes. Let's go back and check the stock market again, shall we? Hit this refresh button. It was up. It was up a couple hundred points when we started. Now the Dow Jones is down 80 points. S&P is up 2 points. The NASDAQ is up 138 points. VIX is down 55. Gold is up $93.60. And oil is now down $3.48 a barrel. Interesting. The yo-yo continues to yo-yo-yo. Saw a small CO boy yesterday. Teresa Martin. Interesting. Convoy. Convoy yesterday. Small convoy yesterday. Gotcha. Good call, Big Chase. That's a good one. You don't, definitely don't be taking your CPRN filters out of the plastic until you are absolutely ready to use them 100%. You don't want those things exposed to anything until it's go time, because short lifespan, right? I'll be doing nothing crazy with your preparedness stuff. The Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival mug is empty. I'm out of coffee. There isn't even any left in the pot. Gonna have to get another one going here. Or maybe I just go fishing. I know David Baez is trying to talk me into fishing, so David, going to the creek. Going to the creek. And as always, I will post all of these in the comment section, right? I don't want you guys to have to come and try and sift through the live chat to try and find these links if you want to revisit them. So after this live stream, I will drop all of them in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me on this We All Gonna Die Wednesday early edition. And you know, the news is be turning, and we'll be talking about something tonight, that's for sure. I don't know what yet. Could be a free-for-all. Could be Livingston Man on the guitar all night. I don't know. I don't know. You have to tune in to find out. XNYC, you going fishing too? Right on, brother. GG's Garden. Good to see you. Southern Tier Prepper, yeah. I'll be all right. Do something different says I'm late. What was the starting time? 10:30. I think I kicked this guy off about 10:30 this morning. So we are 42 minutes and 50 seconds in Do Something Diff. Appreciate you being here, though. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Keep your eye on the news, right? Things are sketchy, folks, to say the least. Appreciate y'all. And I will give you the intro as an outro, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Out of here.